The movie Child's Play was written and directed by Tom Holland and Don Mancini, and it starred Brad Dourif, Catherine Hicks, Mike Norris, and Alec Vincent. And the movie officially hit theaters in 1988, which was a solid year for horror movies. You had movies like Halloween 4, Pumpkinhead, Friday the 13th Part 4, Sleepaway Camp. I can go on and on. But you could argue that Child's Play was the best horror movie in 1988. And I personally love this movie because, for one, it changed the landscape of horror, and two, it created a new what-if scenario. And at this point in horror, we pretty much seen everything but a legit killer doll, which scared the crap out of kids. And for me, when I was little, the Child's Play movie posters and VHS covers used to scare me. Just that sinister look of Chucky, especially on that Child's Play 2 cover. I used to always get scared of that. It's so many things I can talk about with this movie, but first off, I want to talk about the plot and the storyline. I thought it was a very creative storyline, with the fact that the Lakeshore Strangler, Charles Lee Ray, was on the run with Eddie Caputo, who later on left him once they got caught. But anyway, when Charles Lee Ray was about to get caught in the toy store, he inserts his spirit into the good guy doll, and from there on out, chaos ensues. Furthermore, we get to see the protagonists, who are Andy and Karen. They're a mother and son, close-knit relationship between the two, and you can understand the humor, especially in that opening scene when Andy was fixing that cereal, it was overflowing, then you had the burnt toast, the orange juice. It was a complete mess, wasting on the floor. If I was this parent, I would be pissed off. But anyway, the cultural phenomenon at that time was the good guy doll. Everyone had one, and Andy is anticipating getting one for his birthday, only to find out he only got some good guy accessory toys. What good are the accessories if you don't have the good guy doll, right? Poor little Andy. Little did he know that'll be the least of his problems. And of course Andy wasn't happy, but Karen tries to make things right. She goes out and she finds a good guy doll for half price from a bum off the street. Little did she know her good deed would turn into Andy's worst nightmare, because the doll that she bought was the good guy doll that Charles Lee Ray inserted himself into. And from there, chaos just takes over. And speaking of chaos, this movie had a lot of it, from the suspense, the kills, and the climax. First and foremost, the suspense leading all the way up to Karen finding out that the doll didn't have any batteries was brilliant. You couldn't come up with a better way to find out. Just imagine you finding a doll with no batteries and it's been walking, talking, and doing all these things without any batteries. And up to that point, everything seemed like speculation, and we never got to see Chucky in full until that scene. However, the kill started early in this movie, and it started with Maggie. And Maggie was Karen's best friend at work. We get to see her, and she reminds me a lot of Tina from Halloween 5. I don't know why, but she really does. Anyway, Chucky kills her with a hammer and she flew out the window, literally. This kill looked a little awkward to me because she was so far away from the window, and it's hard to believe Chucky created that much force for her to fall back and shatter their entire window and fall all those stories down onto that car. And it did set the tone for the rest of the movie though, like we were dealing with something sinister. But it wasn't that many kills in the movie, which I like because it's all quality kills. And one of the kills, you had the doctor getting electrocuted, and then we get to see Eddie Caputo getting blew up in his own home. And probably one of my favorite kills of the entire franchise was the voodoo doll kill. I thought it was simple, but yet it was effective. And as usual, you usually see more people get killed in slashers, but I was expecting someone else to be killed, especially during the third act, and everyone survived while Chucky was burned alive and shot. And one negative thing I can say about this dramatic ending was the fact that Chucky was still causing damage with just his body parts. Like, come on, that's not believable. Granted, some of the protagonists are injured, but it's like 3 grown-ups. Do something. Beat it, destroy it. Simple. That's all you have to do. And speaking of body parts, the animatronics used to make this film was unbelievable. And it's actually a behind the scenes video on YouTube showing how they created everything. And it's amazing. And it definitely made a big part in making this movie a great horror film. And hopefully this new remake can incorporate something similar, because I'm not a fan of CGI. It always takes away from the realness of the movie. And it's just, I don't know, it's something about CGI that I don't like. As far as the acting, they all did a great job, but I think Mike Norris, the police officer, did the best. And of course, Brad Dourif did a great job, especially with the opening scene, but his voice carried this movie so well. Also, the dialogue that he created, I mean, it made for some legendary lines in this movie. Also, you get to see some in Child's Play 2 and Child's Play 3. And moving on to Catherine Hicks, I thought her character was okay, but it just was missing something. I mean, it wasn't nothing spectacular. Although at the third act, I thought she did a great job. So I'm not gonna complain too much. And Alex, otherwise known as Andy, I thought he did a great job. It could have been better. He seemed a little shy, but one of my favorite lines in the whole entire Child's Play franchise is, "Aunt Maggie, Chucky said he wants to watch the 9 o'clock news." But that's one of my favorite lines in the entire franchise. But it's not like he did a phenomenal job, but it was enough to get by. He seemed a little shy, like I said. It wasn't like he was spectacular like Danielle Harris was in Halloween 4. Now I want to talk about the cinematography, which was okay, nothing spectacular, but like I said, the animatronics carried this movie throughout. But as far as the location, I wasn't really a big fan of the Chicago location. I wasn't a big fan of the snow and the cold weather. And I thought if they would have filmed this in Southern California, it would have been better scenery and just a better vibe from my perspective. Leave a like down below if you agree with what I'm saying. Overall, I really did enjoy this movie, and it has a lot of great rewatchability to it. And it's one of the best in the franchise, if not the best. But like I said, this movie had a lot of great direction and a great script, and something that worked in their advantage. You never seen a killer doll before, so yeah, man, let me know down below what you thought about Child's Play. Was it a great movie? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Looking forward to reading your comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all the latest news and updates regarding horror movies. And also be on the lookout for Child's Play 2 review, Child's Play 3 review. And hit that notification button so you can see every time I upload so you don't miss any content. Hope you have a great day. Peace.